Hey everybody, Phil Friedman here in El Segundo with Mackie, and we are here because last night on Tackle Shop Confessions, our live show, a gentleman by the name of Carlos said he was fishing or attempting to fish on that very jetty right there off El Segundo when the lifeguards approached him around 12 noon on Sunday and they told him, no, you cannot fish on jetties anymore. Carlos has been fishing this jetty for 20 years. And he was like, what? What are you talking about? And the lifeguard said, hey, my boss says there's an ordinance prohibiting fishing on that jetty there behind us. So we're here to go over to the lifeguards and find out more about it because, I mean, access to this is really important, not only to guys like Carlos, but lower income people who can't afford to go on a sport boat. They don't have the money to do that, still want to enjoy the great outdoors. They want to go fishing. They want to take their kids fishing. And here is a place where they can do that. And if the lifeguards are arbitrarily shutting that down, well, that's a reason for concern. If there is, in fact, an ordinance, we're going to find out more about that. So let's head over to the lifeguard place and see if we can dig somebody up that'll give us the scoop on this. Perfect. All right, here's a lifeguard. Let's find out if we can learn a little bit more about this whole thing. How's it going? Hey, good, thank you. Got a question for you. Can you fish the jetties here?
Before I give you the answer as to what this lifeguard said about fishing that jetty out there, I just want to make the point that everybody we came in contact with, including this gentleman, were so nice, so polite, and so helpful. It really made me feel great about the people down there on the beach and the job they are doing. So, what did he have to say? Stay tuned.
All right, Mackie and I feel like we kind of have this whole jetty thing worked out for all of you, and it sounds like maybe a little miscommunication, or maybe the person that told Carlos that he couldn't fish the jetty really wasn't up to speed, because we just talked to Chris Mohagan. He is a lifeguard here, and Chris said, absolutely you can fish the jetties. There's not a problem at all. There are two ordinances, however, that could apply to this. Number one, the ordinance that you can't have your line within 100 yards of swimmers or surfers. So hopefully you'll be able to work that out with the people that are around you. Either move or just, gently say, hey, is there some way we can work this out? You guys, we're catching a bunch of fish here and it's really, really good. So that's number one. And number two, lifeguards have the discretion under dangerous circumstances to tell you, no, you can't go out there on the jetty. It's too dangerous, there's high tides or too much wind, out of concern for your safety, they're able to do that. However, jetties are available for you to fish, Carlos, and for everybody else. And the lifeguards here were absolutely wonderful. Chris was great. We appreciate him. The enforcement officer that we saw when we first came in here was like, hey man, I hope they're not closed because I fish here all the time. So there it is, problem solved. Mackie, thanks for coming along. And I think now we have an answer for you. The jetties, you can fish them. There's no ordinance that would prohibit that other than the two I mentioned. And of course, you must have your California fishing license. For Friedman Adventures, Phil Friedman reporting from El Segundo, California.
Lifeguard training, this is Pat.
Hey, I'm looking for the PIO.
Stand by. I can take a message for you.
Okay.
This was his number, and then he moved. So, may I ask who's calling, please?
Yeah, this is Philip Friedman. I do a podcast called Friedman Adventures.
Okay.
And you want me to give you the story here real quick? I'll just give you a quick story. There was a guy named Carlos who called into our live show last night, and he said the lifeguard said that the jetties are no longer available for fishing. There's an ordinance that has shut the jetties down for fishing. So we just came over here and we interviewed a lifeguard, or spoke with a lifeguard named Chris Mohagan. Super nice, super informative. Really, really a pleasure to talk to him. And he said, well, I don't know who told him that, but that's not true. There's an ordinance that prohibits you from fishing within 100 yards of swimmers and surfers. And there's another ordinance which gives the lifeguard the authority to say, hey, it's too dangerous to go out there. Other than that, you're good to go. So I just wanted to bounce that off the PIO and see if that all sounds good. I don't want to get anybody screwed up, and I don't want to give out any bad information out there. So that's basically my story.
Yep. So I'm not an official PIO, but that's That's the right of it. There is no ordinance that states that we can prohibit people from going onto jetties.
Yes.
Now, if this is large, we may prevent them just for their own safety.
Yes.
And then the 100 feet rule is a ordinance for fishing, just so that fishers and surfers or swimmers don't entangle with themselves.
Correct.
But yeah, there's nothing that states that people can't go on rocks and jetties.
All right. Well, once again, another nice person helping us. I really, really appreciate it, my friend.
Yeah, no worries. What was your podcast? I'll check it out. It's Friedman Adventures?
Yeah, and it's spelled Friedman, Friedman, Friedman Adventures on YouTube.
Okay, cool. Well, right on. Well, thanks for calling. I appreciate you getting your story straight. Sorry about that misinformation. That's not our intent. So, yeah, hopefully you have a better experience next time with the lifeguards. But, yeah, no worries on the jetties. Hope you guys have fun, unless it's, like, totally macking surf. Yeah, it's all fair game.
Oh, thank you for your kindness. I really appreciate you.
Okay, have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.